Hey guys, it's Lucas Nogueira here, and today we're going to talk about some cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. And the first thing is how to check the weather between two sessions on Race Studio 3, okay? So here, I got a comparison with Orlando on the Rotax, and if you look on the bottom left, I have the weather showing my ambient temperature, pressure, humidity, and even the wind direction and wind speed. And then I have this from 1 week of the Rotax Winter Trophy, and then the second week was a bit hotter. So we kind of know how the carburation will change when the weather changes. And to be able to get this, all you gotta do is when you are on Race Studio 3, you come up here and you log in into your account. You gotta create an account on the AIM website and just log in. If you log in and have internet on, it will pull the weather from the previous year of sessions that you have. All right, so we got a second nice feature that a lot of people don't know about, which is the track map coming from Google on the background. So if you just connect your computer to the internet, you can come up here and click on this Google Earth icon, and it will pull the background from the Google Earth into your GPS data. So normally it's very well aligned, and you can see if the driver is hitting the apex, changing his line. But if it's not aligned, you can change which server you are using. So right here we are in Quaker City, it's a brand new track. If I change from Google to Bing, you'll see that I don't even have a track there because it's a brand new track and Bing hasn't updated. So if yours is not aligned, all you gotta do is change to a different server here. I've been using Google so far and it works pretty well.
You know, likely one of the moves, the best moves that we've seen all weekend long, and as well, I think in my time coming to Trackhouse Motorplex here. And with the class that we have out on the track now, your Mini Swifts for their first practice session of the day. Maxwell Macha was able to get the win yesterday. His teammate with the Paralympic team, Zane Burgess, able to capitalize and finish second, make it a 1-2 for the team. Jaden Francisco rounded up your top three. And for those of you at home as well, the biggest noticeable thing that you can see here this morning, a change in the layout. Still 11 corners here, for the weekend, for the racetrack as well that we're going to see, but we're using a little bit different, right? Not the entire front stretch. We have a cut through here as well in one of the opening corners, and as well a cut through just on the end of the front stretch. So it's going to spice things up. These drivers had time to practice yesterday. They had time to practice yesterday as well, and again, it was a very good day of racing, and we're going to see what it's like here today as well, because again, these drivers have only driven it Thursday morning. Whenever they were here for their practice sessions, they were able to do a different layout, the normal layout at the end of the day, but again, minimal practice time, right? So you're making your last little bits of changes, you're adjusting on the fly, if you will, and when we get into the heat racing time, heat 2 later on today, and the super heat as well, that's going to be the most critical part about it all, right? Just being on top of it, being on top of your setup, as well, making sure you're comfortable enough to go out there, whether it's front-end changes. We saw a lot of that yesterday when we went to the kid kart layout and the shootout formations. As well, I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more of that here today. A lot of drivers have been talking about, the differences of the tracks, right? The difference in the asphalt throughout some of the cut-throughs as well. So it's all going to be things to look out for here today. I'm personally excited. I'm going to be down here for the shootouts as well as up in the booth with Xander. Haley Donaldson's going to be here as well. And again, don't forget, check out our merch is for sale here today. Haley's standing by over there. You can buy some hats, some shirts, and as well as some clearance t-shirts for only $5. So make sure you work your way over there. Give Haley a shout before she gets back to pit reporting and the awesome job she's been doing all weekend long. But yeah, make sure you guys go over there, check that out. We're excited to bring you guys some merch and as well to be a part of the IAME Grand National Championship. This class continue to go out, continue to circle around, and we'll continue to work our way through here. And again, we'll look at the live timing for you guys as well as this session continues to go forward. And again, notables here this weekend. The Paralympic machines have obviously been some of the fastest all weekend long and as well throughout the year. Coming up next, some of your KA juniors, again, getting ready to go out. And we'll give Haley a shout here real quick as I'm boots on the ground and walking around here. Again, come check out some of the merch, and we'll work our way over here with Haley as well. We'll show you guys some of the cool stuff that we do have in stock for us. And again, this is pretty much what we got. For those of you at home, I know Haley, you're here as well. We have our varsity t-shirts. Again, those are for $30. And our new hats, my personal favorites, the standard hat with the rope, just came in this weekend, $40, as well as our signature hats. Some of the guys on the crew love these for sure, and as well our blue shirts that are on clearance. So make sure you check those out. If you will, again, we love the hats. I've been wearing them. Haley's wearing them right now, as well, and Hunter's wearing one of those. If you find our very own Riley Can, he's wearing that signature hat. So again, come out here, be a part of it, and come say hi to Haley before she gets back to work later on today. And she is at work, I must say. She's hard at work. So come say hi to Haley as we'll continue to walk around, and as well enjoy some of the sights and sounds of your Mini Swift class as they continue to lap around. as we focus back in on the racetrack, the driver that won yesterday, again, picking right up where he left off. Maxwell Macha currently best time on the board at 50.953. What scales the driver in second, Jaden Francisco third, Holden Myers and Lawrence Pearman your top 5. And again, one of the biggest talking points that we've had so far throughout the weekend to those of you at home is you know, the local guys, the local kiddos that are from North Carolina that have, you know, tons of laps here at Trackhouse Motorplex, and many drivers have said it, right? Paulie has said it, Ryan Norberg has said it as well, that this is almost everybody's home track whenever you come here, and that's one of the biggest things to look out for here as well this weekend when we see more drivers get into the mix. Time just running out here. Maxwell Macha currently still holds the fastest lap of 50.953. That's the relative lap time we're going to see here for your Mini Swift drivers as this day continues to go on. And again, Jaden Francisco here in third, Holden Myers, Lawrence Pearman. That is your top 5. And again, it's been a great day. I've been down here on grid, down here walking around so far this morning. And as well, our very own Xander Clements has been up in the booth. Xander, again, I'm your eyes and ears down here. What would you like to know? And good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning to you too, Caleb. What I want to know is a little bit, what are the Mini Swift and X30 Junior drivers and X30 Senior drivers thinking after watching all the shootout races last night? They, of course, still don't know what layout they're going to race on, but outside of the final race of the night where Paulie was able to get away, and even in that, there was a chance he was going to get reeled in, they were wild. And for Mini X30 Junior and X30 Senior, that's what's on opportunity today. You've got those classes, of course, some of them ran already. Mini Swift now just coming off. X30 Junior on grid. Some of the X30 guys you'll see in the K Senior class here in a little bit. I'd love to hear a little more aftermath, too, from the K boys and girls of now with the night to sleep on all the emotions from last night, what their takeaway was from the shootout, especially some of those first-timers like Caden McQueen, Zachary Clayman DeMello, and even some of the first-timers that might be going into the X30 show, like Gus Lawrence, who joined us to watch it, or Nate Golseth, who had that great run. All those good drivers, I want to hear what they think now with another chance potentially to go and race for some big money tonight in that run 'em, rack 'em, and get back out there after only a 10-minute break format that it entails.
Yeah, we'll be talking to them for sure here tonight. Again, everybody in X30 Junior already gridded up, getting ready to go out on track. And while we have time, why don't we find somebody to go have a chat with here real quick before we get going. We'll talk to Drew Thermal also. I mean, he was up there yesterday in X30 Junior. Were you here watching last night? Some of your teammates were out there in the shootout races.
Yeah, I was at my Airbnb watching it live.
So what'd you think about the shootouts? And again, you have a chance to be a part of that today.
Yep.
There you go. He's actually getting ready to go, but we'll talk to him after. And again, it's rolling. It's ready racing down here. Everybody's ready to get going. They're about to hit the racetrack. But if you want my take on yesterday, it was great. I've talked to some team members, team owners as well today, and they thought the racing was incredible. Their favorite race of the night, I think like it was for many people, was the KA Junior shootout where Nathan Golseth, who's actually getting ready to go out just back there. Again, what a move for him, and that was the favorite race of the night for many, many people. We'll talk to some of the other drivers in the shootout. The KA Senior starting to roll up here, and we'll speak to Caden McQueen on his initial thoughts on the shootout, right, with everything said and done. ZCD, one of the ones we want to talk to as well, who, again, a penalty for him, got put back. But, I mean, KA Junior, that was the race of the night from what I've been hearing down here on the grid, Xander.
Yeah, that one was everything you could ask for out of a shootout race, right? I mean, a battle from start to finish and a clean pass for the win to boot with that right at the last second for Nate Golseth. He got his elbows out earlier for his first try at the lead, and then the second time managed that gap perfectly. I know you talked a bit, obviously, with with Ryan Perry, with Shaston, with Austin, and the crew that's got him so fast to compete and get a first-time checkered flag on a national scene. Again, we kind of look at the shootouts as even more so all-star races on this all-star weekend. That was still a big moment. And I remember you asked Shaston his thoughts about it. Does that beat his first big TSRS win, his first regional win from a year ago? He said, it's a little different. And those guys, what are they doing with the cash? I heard Nate was at, hold on, I actually got some intel, Caleb. You need to go over and check in with Haley. I heard Nate was trying to finesse a free hat, and he just got $1,000 added to his bank account. So you need to go see what's going on over at the merch stand. Someone's trying to get some free stuff.
Yeah, sadly, for a lot of people, right, nothing's free in this world. Racing's not free for most of us. I'll scoot my way through here. Talk to Haley. Haley's over here at the table. Haley, tell me about this, right? Here in some intel, Nate Golset's out there on the track now, but he wins $1,000 last night, comes up to you, asks you for a free hat this morning. Again, these are nice hats, right? Really nice hats. What was your response to him?
I, of course, told him, no, you just want some money. You can pay for this yourself. And then he's like, well, ask Xander. I'm a winner now. I can promote you guys. And I'm like, I mean, I can ask, but most likely it's going to be a no. You've got money to pay for this now.
Well, there you go. There you go from Haley. I'm curious to hear what you said, Xander. What was your response to hearing that message from Haley?
Yeah, I told him to go get the debit card.
There you go. Perfect, right? Perfect. And again, $1,000, right? That's some of the biggest paydays for these young drivers, and I'm curious to hear, right, what some of these young kids are going to do with the money in Microsoft. Yesterday, Lennox said he was going to use it for racing, so we'll hear from him as well as this day continues to go on. But we'll chat with some more drivers that are down here on grid. One of the ones that's actually getting ready. We'll talk to Sam Brewski here, 924. Were you watching yesterday? Were you watching last night some of the racing going on?
I was, yes, I was. I was watching Oliver Piatek, my good friend, so I was helping him with the heats.
What did you think about it? Again, you weren't part of it, you weren't racing, but what did you think, being on the side, and I'm pretty sure nerves was still high for you, right, helping a friend out?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to watch. I thought the K Junior racing was like really awesome. The K Senior was kind of a snooze fest at the end, but it's still pretty cool to watch.
Well, let's talk about your weekend as well, Sam. You're with AEM this weekend. Tell me how it's gone for you. Summarize your weekend up to this point.
Yeah, it's been a learning curve. It's been a bit rough. This is our first event outside of Stars this year. Huge thanks to Mike and Nick Gabriel. I mean, the package has been awesome this weekend. We got a little unlucky in qualifying, so we've been having to start at the back for the heats, but it's just one heat at a time, one driver at a time, just trying to go forward. Looking forward to the racing today.
I'll ask you a question. Why should people come and race the IAME Grand Nationals next year?
I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind event. Some of the guys you race against, you don't get to race against anywhere else. So definitely a pro event. The level of competition is super high, and it's a great learning experience.
There you go. Best of luck to you, Sam, and we'll see you out there on the racetrack here in a couple of moments. So keep an eye for Sam Brewski. Again, one of his first national events outside of the Stars Championship Series. And again, unforgettable event, right? One of a kind, the words that we're hearing down here on the grid.
There's nothing quite like this one. And I think this year it's easy to say that this has been the best all-around event so far, right? We're getting to run the alternate layout again today. This is a total flip on its head from most of the way they take the corners on the standard layout. They'll go back to tomorrow. Yesterday was great racing even in the regular round of heats for all classes. The weather's been phenomenal. The turnout's been great. I talked to just for a moment with Eric at the end of the day yesterday, and I mean, just the fact that the fields across all 6 divisions are as strong as they are, everyone seems to be in great spirits, and that's tough, Caleb, right? You can attest to that, along with the drivers you're talking to, the grind of the year. Normally at this point of the season, everybody's burnt out, but everyone seems pretty upbeat so far.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been pretty upbeat with the way the year's been. A driver here who, again, maybe not the best ends to last night, but how are you feeling, and again, another chance for a shootout later on tonight?
Obviously, I was a bit disappointed last night. Didn't agree with the penalty or whatever it was. Anyways, it's important not to let the wind get out of your sails. We have a whole other day. There's more money to be won, more trophies to be won. So I think the main thing is forget about yesterday. This is part of racing, and it's a whole new day, No shootout anymore. The racing will be different again today. I think you can expect to see people push a bit more as opposed to a full-out gunfight.
And again, with thoughts on the X30 Pro shootout here later on tonight, what would you do differently already having that experience from the K shootout?
First, Obviously, I always make the shootouts exciting. I think I make most races exciting. So, Eric, if you hear this, please put me in on the promoters pick. The first heat didn't go so well. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would do much different. It's kind of a bit of luck in the shootout, a bit of skill, it's a bit of everything. It's almost like the mechanics rental race we used to do during this thing. Everyone's going balls to the wall because they want the money, but that's what makes it so fun and so intense for everyone. So it's a show. It's cool. I like it.
Well, there you guys have it for ZCD. We'll see him go out in an X30. I'll let you get ready as well so you can go out on the track for KA Senior. And again, if you look back to this event in 2021, Xander, when you were started, you had the happy hour as well. The mechanics race was a part of this event, and again, that's been taken away now, but that still lives within, right? That same type of racing kind of yesterday. The emotions are high, the tension is high, the nerves are high. And again, how have you seen this kind of event progress through the years? Because you were part of the first one, right? You streamed your first event just at this very racetrack.
I streamed the first event, and I also raced in the mechanics race on the last year before it got thrown out, and I got black flagged as well. Not for contact, I want to make that clear, but that whole race, as fun as it was in the opening couple of years, was far from anywhere what the racing was last night, because nobody owned the equipment but Trackhouse Motorplex, and a rental kart, to surprise probably of many parents here in the pits that might not know, the go-kart industry knows it well, is even more expensive usually, or at minimum right around the same price as a racing kart with all the extra durability pieces that go into it. So you can't go and tear up a $250,000 worth of go-karts and do that year over year just for one fun session. As fun as it was, and Zach mentioned it, it was a blast to be able to call it. It was a fun kickoff to the weekend on Thursday night. But I like where we're at this year. I think throughout all 4 iterations to 2025 now with year 5 on it, we've been at different weekends in the season. We've got different weather, and we've tried the format a different, couple of ways, along with obviously the track layout. This year we brought back, this is only the second time that X30 Jr will get a chance to race for money. They'll be up on tap tonight. Mini Swift the same. And initially when it first came in, it was in a year when we were maybe not nearly with the best kind of weather, so the day felt a whole lot longer. The days haven't felt super long here. The racing's kept us entertained for sure, but I don't think we could hit it better than what we've hit it here in 2025. And X30 Junior's warm up here, before I send it back to you, Caleb, with us getting ready for KA Senior, and one more commercial break before we end our free coverage for the afternoon section. We'll, of course, be free again tonight for everyone to get to watch all the shootout action. Is just another testament to how good this X30 Junior field is. Travis Pettit, top of the board yesterday. Engine change, had to go from the back. And obviously that same engine, I'm sure, is what's on the kart here this morning. It's fast. He's quickest in warm-up by only 16 thousandths. And as quick as he was in that opening heat race from the rear, he was only able to get up to around 10th, 11th, and then kind of stalled out there. Ran out of laps. You could make that argument as well. But, you go down the board, we're talking less than 2 tenths down to Edward Kennedy in 10th. Less than 3 tenths down to Nico Katowski in 14th. This is a close field here in X30 Junior. It's arguably closer than any other division on the weekend. But that said, we haven't seen the KA Seniors together. We won't see them together until tomorrow. They've got 2 groups of the warm-up, 2 different groups that'll run the second round of heats and the super heat. So all that to say, that class will be a barn burner main with 50 deep tomorrow. The first of those 2 groups to warm up here are getting ready to roll. We'll be back with them in a moment, as we hope you continue to enjoy the coverage here from Mooresville, North Carolina for the IAME Grand National Championship with KA Senior, our last class to get ready.
I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my god.
Wait, do you guys say you like shopping?
Of course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCara.com. At ShopPayCara.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCara.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Come on, man.
So K Senior Group 1 of 2 onto the circuit for warm-up, and some of the names from last night's All-Star Apex Apparel Shootout on display here. Connor Ferris and Fast Frankie Mossman. Frankie had a moment, sadly, in one of the 2 heats that kind of put him buried in the field for the main, and then right as he was able to charge through it and get up to the driver Caleb just spoke to, Zachary Clement de Mello, to make a pass for second. The right rear bumper bolt damage from the earlier contact ultimately cost him the main when the bolt broke again, or at least the replacement fix of sorts came undone, and the bumper came off, and it took him out of the chance at getting into the money. Now that said, there is still quite a bit of money on tap here today with the main events in terms of building towards them. Money on tap for KA100 Senior. They'll also be racing for a major prize package that'll actually pay all the way down to the top 5. The same will go for X30 Jr. They've not only got their shootout money on tap tonight, they'll have their main event top 5 purse prizes and engines and tire contingency prizes for the overall top 5 Grand National podium. And that goes all the way down to Micro Swift and Mini Swift and KA Jr. as well, where they'll all be vying for prizes inside the top 5 finishing spots in tomorrow's mains. Today, though, for KA Senior, just building towards that and trying to get accustomed to the alternate layout. A couple of drivers may have driven this in various sessions over the last 4 iterations. We have run this layout before. We debuted it with the X30 Shootout in 2022, I believe, and since then, or maybe 2023, one of the two, we ran this alternate course. No, 2022 indeed, where we ran this switchback layout. They've run this at the club circuit as well a handful of times, but if you haven't been a part of either of those events, you're getting used to this layout off of just 3 practice sessions at the end of the day on Thursday. And you can see that it's still pretty physical. Finnegan Bailiff sporting the Coastal Link printing onboard camera, popping the curbing, quickly lost connection for a moment, but we'll be able to ride shotgun with Finn and hopefully a few other drivers throughout the course of the day and the rest of the weekend with our onboard shots courtesy of Coastal Link and Jimweed. And for Finnegan Bailiff yesterday in X30 Pro, he rode under the radar, had a clean opening heat, hovered the top 10, looking for a little more in that one with a shot to maybe transfer into the shootout tonight. In the KA Senior Division, a little bit more pace probably needed. And in that case, right now, it still seems like he's missing a tick on this layout. 8th currently, 3/10 off the pace of Enzo Vidmontiana, who we were following right before Finn. He's quickest on the SLA Kart Racing Kart Republic, had plenty of airtime for some good reasons and some maybe not so good last night with a big-time run-in with Brandon Lemke, among others. But the rookie said he's out there to get respect, and if they won't give it to him, it's not going to matter to him. He'll shrug and go out and try to put some quick times in and drive to the front. Speed looks to be there for the KR driver, as right behind him here's ZCD pulling into pit lane. Bit off the pace for Zach in this warm-up. 11th currently, best lap at a 48.86, and he'll get dropped a little further as Aiden Levy pips him across the line. He'll go up to 5th. Here's Jared Clark. And when you go to the heats yesterday, not the shootout race, which he was a part of off the promoter's pick, actually the Apex Apparel pick to get in. He's 14th in the heat classification right now, and may end up tracking a little bit better with a good day-to-day to line up for that super heat, and then ultimately the combination of all 3 heat race sessions, the 2 heats at 25% apiece and 50% to the super heat, could still start pretty good for the main tomorrow. But he was leading the way in heat number 1 in his group and tagged the wall at turn number 6 on the standard layout, and it destroyed the right rear of the go-kart. The tire was bent up in the air probably nearly 90 degrees, and the axle, the hub, and probably a bit of the frame as well at the right rear destroyed from contact with the blue and white Scribners. Those barriers aren't filled with anything, but then they're meant to catch an absorbed impact, but sideswiping one of them at some of the runoff areas here can be detrimental, and it caught out more than just Jared. There were multiple drivers that went out yesterday, but he was the most notable as he needed out of the lead. And it was just, again, a gut-wrenching moment for a driver who has already had some spotlight and hero moments this year with the win at the Queen City Gambit for the Stars Championship Series. Some good pace shown throughout last year as well, and hot spots through the summer. And then having this race marked on the calendar as a shot to get back to the top step of the podium. He'll have a little bit of a tougher road to get there now off a 20th plus result in Heat 1, but it's still possible with the reset for the Superheat if he has a good Heat 2. And if he can drive forward in that Superheat and hopefully start in the first 5 or 6 rows in the main, anything can happen. This race always provides a ton of chaos, and last year was no different along with the years prior. Caleb Gaffaro through the chaos yesterday. He got booted off the racetrack in the start of the KA Senior Shootout, went back to 13th, hustled the Kart back up to 3rd, was challenging Cash Perkins at the end for what was 2nd. He almost was able to get to him, but just kind of ran out of momentum and laps at the same time. And he was just a few feet away of a $750 payday swing, but he still got the Hotes DD Camp in the purse money. Starts to go back on the entries for this weekend where he's doing double duty, and he'll have another shot to try and transfer into a shootout for $5,000 tonight for the MG Tires X30 Pro division. But that wraps up this first group with most of the field pulling in before the end of the session, getting what they needed data-wise, and trying to manage the time on the day with only 6 classes and only 7 run groups from here on out for Heat 2 and the Super Heat. Every minute counts that you can get back to the pit area and go to work and find more speed. For Anthony Rivera, speed's good for him here as he stays on the racetrack to finish this session out. Currently 6th with the checkers flying. Frankie Mossman there behind him, 3rd. When you talk about Frankie, you got to talk about last year also. Running 3rd in the X30 Pro main event as the rain hit in the final few laps. Heavy impact with the outside retaining wall in turn 4. It was a scary moment. We were happy to see he was A-OK. But that ultimately drew the ire of the officials to throw the red flag on the race and cut it short. And it gave us one of the sweetest victories for a new name to join the wall of winners in the X30 Pro category here in the modern era, Jacob Kolar, who we'll, I'm sure, speak about later on today in X30 Pro, the 2024 IAME Grand National Champion, probably back hard at work in the pit area, getting ready for the second heat race coming up for them. It'll be a bit of a gap before we see these names, though, at least for the ones that are solely in KA Senior. So this will be the last chance for them to get dialed and get a read on this alternate track with only, again, 3 practices on it. Practices 4, 5, and 6 Friday evening. So 23 of them, all of them making laps down to Brody Nelson and Brock Knowles. And one more practice session remains, folks. Will be exclusive to KC Premium members only for the Heat 2 and Super Heat today. If you're just looking for the free coverage, we'll be back free again tonight for the MG Tires X30 Pro Shootout and the undercard Fast 5 or potentially Fast 10 shootouts with X30 Jr and Mini Swift. That'll start at 7 for them and about 8 p.m. Eastern or so for X30 Pro. For KA Senior Group B, the other half of the 50-driver sold-out field now takes to the circuit for the first time here on Saturday and their 4th time on this alternate course. And I think in the same way we touched on how tough it was for them to pass down at turn number 4 yesterday with how much grip was down on the circuit and how short the braking zone had become, how fast the drivers were going. We're going to see a lot of that similar kind of frustration, I think, and difficulty with this configuration, because you do have still plenty of 180-degree corners, but you're not carrying nearly as much speed into them. Turn 1, again, that's halfway down the front straightaway. Turn 2 here, still not a lot of speed because you're so close to the exit of turn number 1, so you swing out for it for sure. But you also, again, barely brush the brake pedal. Here in what's then turn number 4, that double left, and the turn 5 long sweeper going through turn number 1. Also, hard to pass, pretty much single file until you get up the hill through the original turn 3. Today, that'll be turn 7 and down here to turn number 8. But again, yesterday, this was already hard enough to pass into. We saw moments even in qualifying in this class of Blake Nash and McGabriel colliding. And then turn 9, that'll be tricky. We've seen plenty of moments there in the shootout races with this layout in the past. I think we might see some in the heats as well. Paulie Massimino, though, as we follow him along, goes to 2nd on the board. Apex Apparel K shootout winner, the winningest driver in the history of the shootouts we've run. We've run 9 now so far for the headline categories, and the 10th one will be run tonight. The 5th year of it, and the first year Paulie won his first shootout in spectacular fashion on the chicane course, as it's known here at Trackhouse Motorplex. So now a 3-time shootout winner, back-to-back years, 2024 and 2025 in the KA shootout. He's been a runner-up in that race almost every year of all 5, and was in the running in 23, leading and fighting for the win with Danny Formal as well, when he didn't get to stand on the podium. And yesterday in the heat race, he and Austin Garrison, a 1-2 finish, played teamwork to perfection to keep the likes of his teammate Cash Perkins at bay back in 3rd, Caden McQueen back in 4th. How about this young man, though, Caleb?
Yeah, I mean, what a night last night for Cash Perkins, right? And as well, what a last kind of couple of 2 weeks for Cash Perkins. I was over in Dowsman, Wisconsin, just last weekend, right, where he was able to get his first senior win on the regional scene over at Route 66 and cap off the year on a high. And again, to come back this weekend, and again, expecting, quite honestly, to see him kind of carry that pace into this weekend, but I didn't really see him fighting up at the front like we saw him last night, right? Even at the shootout, I just, if I'm being quite honest, I wasn't expecting to see that yesterday out of Cash Perkins, and a good surprise for me, right? I love to see a story like that come into the weekend and again, prove me wrong almost. And again, this kid, I mean, speaking to him all day yesterday, just a very good head on him.
And to handle the adversity, right? To go from a crash in Heat 1, spun off to the side, and then to rebound the way he did there with still a solid Heat 2, and then even still having some contact in it, but managing the race beautifully in the main event, letting the field spread out and picking them apart one by one to claw his way up to eventually 2nd when the dust settled. And last night, spoke to his father as well about how they were coming into this weekend hoping for a top 15 overall. That would be a success. To end up 2nd in the All-Star event Friday night, and to now have a 3rd already on the points tally for Heat 1. I mean, this is a much better result already than what they were hoping for. And that, of course, resets your expectations. Now you go to bed Friday night and you're like, all right, now we got a shot at this thing. We're going to be in the mix. And you got to continue to find that level mentality to go, okay, well, yes, we were good yesterday. We're on the alternate course now. We don't have as many laps on it. We still need to approach it with humility and try to look for where we can gain some more time, because right now he's a bit down the board. Peyton Phillips following the Arcane Tony Kart now in the middle of a group, trying to also, again, get some more speed on this course. He was moving in heat number 1 yesterday on the standard circuit. Phillips right now, though, not even in the top 10. He is 16th currently, 6.5 tenths off the pace of the quickest in this group, which is, again, Paulie Massimino by 1.5 tenths. Colin Lloyd up the road there. He just went to 2nd. Austin Garrison is 3rd. James Overbeck 4th. And Caden McQueen currently sits at the end of the top 5, but a bigger delta through this group than the previous one. 0.5 second separating the top 10.
Yeah, 0.5 second. Again, you were talking about Peyton Phillips. I want to take a look back at last year as well, right? Ended up, in the ER at the end of it, right, with a nasty crash for him. Just got some minor stitches, and then to come back this year, just outside, I believe, missed the shootout by less than a point or just a little bit over that. Again, finishing 7th at the overall standings, but or just outside of that, sorry. But even then, to come back this weekend and again struggle a little bit in the morning warm-up session, looking for a little bit more. A couple of other drivers, right? Last couple weeks, last couple of months, if you will, for Colin Lloyd. I mean, great for Colin and the weeks that he's had. And again, he's been running up at the front. Team manager Ruben has been very happy with him. And again, some help for him as well, right? With Caden McQueen, ZCD, and all 3 of them have been really fast. So that SOTY package just really coming together this weekend.
That's a good point. This is the first time all 3 are together.
Yep.
Colin's won a race for the crew. Zach's won the most recent one of the U.S. Pro Kart Series. Caden's hoping to make it 3 different winners on a SOTY Kart in KA Senior, potentially this weekend. With the speed that he's shown, it's definitely possible. But, yeah, to have those 2, that's got to be a big boost, right? I think of all the different teams and combinations here across the classes, that might be one of the stronger lineups in terms of both quantity and quality at the front of the field, where you can really maximize the limited track time you have on alternate layouts like this. Go 3 different directions here in a single practice session with 3 trusted drivers and try to then comb back over the data and find the best combo. Because again, DeMello in that first group, right, he's not out there with them. He was a bit off. But for Colin, 2nd now, and McQueen still 5th. They've obviously found something, and if they can combine that, find the best package for each of the 3 styles, they could have all 3 of the black and orange karts towards the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, we'll see what the 330 karts can do later on today. And again, a couple of notable stories as well in this class. One of the ones that I believe surprised me the most, if you will, Cash Perkins was an impressive sophomore in the class. To me, Edgar Rodriguez as well, rookie, right? His first weekend in senior racing action this weekend, qualified 6th overall. And again, for him just to miss the shootout by 1 point, but he's been super impressive on that SLA racing machine. And again, just not really, didn't make too much noise in his junior career, but you turn around in senior and he's really flourished in this class in his first weekend. And again, a long way to go for Edgar, but in his opening weekend, I really think it's been successful, a successful start to it nonetheless.
Mateo Rubio Luengo is another driver we haven't talked about much. Neither has a local superstar and part-time national schedule here for Mateo Pappas. He was also outside of the cut line, but looking in with a downbeat qualifying effort that resulted then in an uphill battle in heat number 1. His dad Max was able to at least hang out yesterday, but had to fly out for the IndyCar Series finale over in Nashville last night. So I'm sure Max will be watching throughout the coverage today, hoping that Mateo continues to march up the field. And at the moment, he still needs a little more to find. Outside the top 10 in 11th, but not terribly far off the karts around him. A couple hundreds will put him 9th ahead of Rubio Luengo, but a couple hundreds the wrong way would put him all the way down, potentially even in 20th. As the times update now, it'll finally cross through with Massimino by a hair. Less than a tenth over Austin Garrison to end the session. James Overbeck 3rd, Lloyd 4th, Miller, Rubio Luengo, Max Barron. Had a moment of airtime yesterday that was the last thing you want to be shown on air for, facing the wrong direction early. 7th here in this practice session. McQueen 8th. Pappas picks up a little to 9th. And then on down the board to ADT, who's been good at X30, said he needed more in KA. It looks like they still might be hunting. He and Luke Welcome, P11, P12. K Senior, along with all of the classes now, wrapped up with the warm-up session. It's time to go racing. We'll see you on the other side of this break for KC Premium members with heat number 2.
Cat food marketing.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo. Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Paulie Massimino wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakracing.com.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Hey, what's up, Caleb? What's up, Brandon? You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like 20 bucks a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like 50 bucks a month.
And you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead-follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLPC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Less than 2 minutes until we release the Micro Swifts onto the circuit here at Trackhouse Motorplex for heat number 2. 5 years, this year being year number 5 of the IAME USA Grand National Championship. And if we rewind the clocks back, you'll see a couple familiar names from the Micro Swift division in the inaugural event here. The Hunt Brothers Pizza partnered IAME Grand National Championships from 2021. The Micro Swift main event was a race to watch here. And Caleb, let's take a look back at it from that main event. What a battle we had all the way from the start to the finish, with a few different names kind of going up, going down, ending up in about a three-way battle for that big trophy and the Micro Swift prize package. It kicked off, of course, with Keelan Harvick and Augustus Toniolo there in the RPG Cosmic leading the way and initially trading the top spot. Lucas Palacio there in the Comp Kart, different colors for him back in the day. The junior driver now was going wheel to wheel with Harvick in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Green Nitro Kart.
Yeah, and again, this is just before my time, but even then, right, watching these races back, you see the class in between these three drivers. Palacio, again, they were going back and forth in the same passing zones that we're seeing this year, right? And the same racing action, the same level as well. When it came down the last couple of laps, you saw Palacio, Harvick, they were going back and forth all race long. And then close to the end, Keelan Harvick able to steal it in 2021, the first IAME Grand National Champion in Micro Swift.
All in the last corner, like you said, same passing zones. There was quite a few, and there will be again tomorrow when we go back to the standard layout. It remains to be seen how they're going to play out here on the alternate course this afternoon for heat number 2, and then a short dinner break for the hardworking Trackhouse and IAME Grand staff along with our crew for dinner, and then back at it again with super heats, and then right into the MG Tires X30 shootout support classes. Mini Swift and X30 Jr getting to run their Fast 10 shootouts tonight for $1,000 cash. But yeah, the Micro Swift class to kick off the mains at that year was right before a massive thunderstorm rolled in. We were outside underneath that white timing and scoring building for the opening couple of years, and it was a miracle we were able to not only get the drivers off the racetrack through the X30 Masters main and away, but then be able to go back racing as quick as we did, as quick as the track dried out, and for us as well to try the equipment out all on our first go at it. We were thrown through the ringer, and that's what this event does with every aspect of it, including again today. So much unknown for these micro drivers. Many of them have probably never raced on this alternate course, may not have turned a lap on it even until Thursday afternoon, but they're lined up based on how they qualified on the regular track here for at least heat number 2. And then it will combine heat 1 and heat 2's overall points tallies to line the grid for the super heat later today. So they'll have this session to kind of get their bearings with it and try some things, maybe experiment, especially if you're sitting on a good heat 1 score, you can get aggressive. But for some, this will be trying to make up for lost ground. One in particular already passed on the lineup is Liam Nachawati. He was stuck in the grass with contact in that opening heat race, couldn't finish. Slade Harrell had a moment in qualifying. We're used to seeing that red number 8 in the first row or second when we go to North Carolina. He's starting back on the inside of row 4, but don't be alarmed. He was able to quickly make work of the pack to get into the mix yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again today. Caden Gladera, one of the last drivers to transfer into that Micro Swift shootout along with his teammate Lennox Lockhart. The two Velocity Sodies are at opposite ends of the top 10. And maybe they'll be able to both meet up at the top couple spots here when this race gets underway. It's the final couple moments. And again, the lineup today, folks, for you guys watching along at home is a bit different in terms of the class order. X30 Pro moves into the 3-hole, and KA Senior will bat cleanup to kind of lengthen the gap for the X30 Pro teams to prepare for their shootout races tonight. Mini Swift, X30 Jr, Micro Swift, and KA Jr stay in the same lineup. So it's a little bit different if you're just joining us now here for heat number 1, all of you KC Premium members trying to figure out when your favorite driver's on track. The official lineup and timetables posted on the IAME USA Grand National Championship official page, IAME USA East on Facebook, and the Trackhouse Motorplex Discord. Engines coming to life now, and we're just about ready to let them loose here for heat number 2 with Micro Swift. Again, same lineup as yesterday, and we'll be ready to bring that on screen here in a matter of moments with Lennox Lockhart, last night's $1,000 Micro Swift Fast 10 shootout winner, starting alongside the Ryan Perry Motorsport Nitro Kart, the bright yellow machine of Liam Francisco. As they take to the circuit, we'll bring the lineup up for you with a short outlap because, again, they're going to get all the way to turn 4 and then quickly make the hard left turn at what is now turn number 5. Turn number 4 on this course with the way they're released onto the racetrack on the standard layout. Today it's turn 8, and turn number 9. Then they're going to quickly form up. Here's some of the other notables here to talk about before we send them loose.
Yeah, as well, you look at Liam Francisco, again, sharing row number 1. Dutch Westbrook, Hudson Howard on row number 2. Yesterday in Heat 1, Dutch Westbrook was able to get the win. Mason Brody, as well as Brody Stoffel on row number 3. Slade Hero, Caden Cladera, and then Liam Astalis and Jack Katowski round up your top 10 rows, all the way back to Bodie Byer, the kid out of Waco, Texas, who's starting 20th here in this one. But we get ready, and again, we're starting at the same spots, right, here for the races. And we'll take an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. Lennox Lockhart on the inside, Francisco on the outside. We go racing in micro.
Oh, no green. Hands in the air. We thought we were good. Wasn't quite. So we'll send them back around. You'll notice, again, they will do the start in the same section and same style as the standard course. Makes the abort lap a whole lot shorter as well, taking the cut through here at the exit of the usual turn 4. And again, today we'll call that one turn number 8. And right here, this left-hand 180, turn number 9. You're also going to different surfaces. I'm curious what Haley will be able to get out of some of the drivers on that today, not only from asphalt to concrete, but going to what has been typically dirty and just littered with tire debris and dirt and rocks. All those concrete cut-throughs added a couple of years ago added more layers to this facility, added more track configurations to play with. But when you drive on one and then switch to the other, you spend that first session of the day kind of cleaning it off, and that may be still a bit of the case here for the micros the first time through, especially in off the racing groove in the second lane. But at least down the front stretch, all should be clear, and it looks good on attempt number 2. Lennox Lockhart, Liam Francisco, get us underway for